Sorry, I did not post yesterday. Yesterday I woke up late and then I was super sore from wrestling, and I had to almost go to bed, and then after school I fell asleep. So yeah, and we made it to 500, halfway to 1,000. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. I'll be trying to make 4 videos today, if I'm possible. One of them might be a 2-hour video, probably, because we got 500. So yeah, and you guys get to choose what that 2-hour video could be, but you guys need to decide on one as a community, so please do. And someone just said add Vaggy and Toga. I'm not gonna add Toga, I'll just add Vaggy, okay? So it's gonna be Alista, Mirko, and Vaggy. Okay, so yeah. I guess you guys could decide if she goes DOA or not. I don't really care. So yeah. Anyways, let's get to the story. So where we left off was, I'm actually pretty sure they just got done with the first day of school. Let me check. Pretty much they got done with their work day, or the day that they were working. So yeah. Now, let's say it was the next day, and Izuku and Mirko didn't have the dorms yet at all, and they went to school. Wait, did they? Hold on, I'm trying to remember something. Did they? Hold up, I don't even know if they did the first day of school. Give me a second. They never did the first day of school, so now they're doing the first day of school. So, it's been a week, let's say. Not the next day. It's been a week, and Alistair's been noticing that Vaggy's been doing well at her job. And let's say that she was like a front desk, one of them. And he went up to her and said, well, I'm heading out for school, but just so you know, you're gonna have a promotion later today, okay? And she says, oh, okay, thank you, sir, and walks off. And he says, you're welcome. And he walks out, and he just doesn't really have a bag, really. He just has, well, I guess if you could find an old type of bag, I guess that's what you would, I guess, have. But yeah, hold up. Anyways, if you hear sounds in the background, I'm putting my iPad away, or putting it in my satchel. Give me a sec. Anyways, he meets up with Mirko, and Mirko's running down with, and let's say the other children that were in there, were starting to make their way down. And then Vaggy said, well, you guys have to pay your way, you know that. And they went back upstairs, and Alistair and Mirko were gone. And when they got to school, they noticed that the door was humongous. And yeah. Ooh, should I put Izuku in class 1B? No, I need him to do the best, and cannot make him to go to orientation. Right? So yeah. They pretty much just go, well, to Ozawa's class, and yeah. Okay. And they were the first ones there. They sat down and waited. Mirko was talking to Izuku, and Izuku was just talking about work, really. And Mirko said, anyways, that girl, he said, that girl named Vaggy? He said, yeah. And he says, yes, about her. What's up? And she said, well, are we promoting her to, what are you going to promote her to? Well, and then Alistair said, well, she's been doing well, so I was thinking vice manager. Someone that's under you. You get to train, you know? And she says, I guess. Right. And she thought that she was going to be the only one with Izuku. Pretty much. And when Izuku's not working, he'll look like this. Here, hopefully it has a photo of it, maybe. I'll just keep going with the story until I find an image, I guess. Here, let me just go. Anyways, and the people started arriving more, right? So yeah. And like I said, this will be his hero costume. Like the red suit and everything. I'm looking for something else. Doesn't know. I had it earlier, I know that. And so with this, hold on. With this face, if it will play again. I guess it's not playing. It's kind of pissed me off a little. See right here how his eyes change a little like that? He could kind of do that. Like, his teeth will start glowing when he talks like that, but he won't be. And someone asked if Zuko will be evil. He won't. Trust me, he won't. So, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, everyone starts arriving, and they notice that Zuko was just there. And, yeah, no one really knows except for Ida, I guess. And, yeah. And I'm trying to show you guys what he looks like during just, when he's working, I guess. Here, let me show you some of them. I looked it up this. He'll look like this. Where is it? He was wearing like some sort of suit. No way. Fuck, come on. Okay. He'll have like, no, that's not it. Never mind. There's something else. Here, let me just put alstor suits. Okay, anyways, and everyone started talking, and the boys know, or some people actually know who Alistair is, the boss of Hazmat Hotel, right? And then they see that Mirko's there. I don't know how to spell fucking suits. There we go. But yeah. Anyways, and when let's say Azawa finally arrives, because he's been taken for a little bit, he arrives and he says, "Hello, children. I will be your teacher and everything." And he noticed that he got Izuku as a student. He said, "Huh, this will be interesting, right?" And he said, "Well, go get your gym uniforms on, okay?" Okay, here, I kind of found the image. He'll kind of have like this type of suit, in a way. No, it's like this. Don't mention the blood, but it's like this type of suit when he's working, I should say. So yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go back to this photo now. And when people went down, the girls are talking about how Izuku always wears a suit, right? And some of the girls actually go to his hotel. Momo's not one of them though, right? Cause she's and some of the girl and let's say Uraka is one of them, and she asks, "So why aren't any of you others? Or I know some of you guys go to this hotel, but why aren't you others?" Let's say Momo says, "Well, I just don't think it's really classy enough for me, right? Because I'm gonna kind of make Momo a little prick, a little bit, not that much though. She won't be really important to the story though, right? But she'll be bothering Izuku a lot, time to time mostly, right? So yeah, and when the boys saw Izuku pretty much take off his tie and everything, they saw scars all over his body. And they said, "What happened to you?" He says, "Oh, don't worry about it." And just got on his gym uniform. He doesn't like it. He hates it. So when he got out, he was just waiting. And everyone else got out, and the midnight incident didn't happen just yet. And yeah, they said and then when everyone got out, he timed them, and then he said, Alistair, since you got first place and the most points, you go first. And everyone's like, wait, wow. Wait, what, did you get the first out of our class or just first out of the whole thing? Right? And then Azawa said, well, he got first out of the whole thing. And Bakugo was mad. Because he never, he said, that in court. He says, that damn nerd. Right? And he says, okay. He stepped up and no one really sees his staff that much unless he's fighting with it or he's using it for his radio show. Whatever, really. Or he's just walking around with it. And these symbols right here, they will appear time to time, I guess. And Izuku grabs his ball, right? And he looks at it for a second and gets ready to throw it. And let's say that is all says wait. And he says what? He says, he's like, so, actually, I just want to know what your quirks are real quick. Right? And he said, fuck. Alistair, what do I tell him? Right? He says, well, Izuku, let's see what you could tell him. You could tell him that I'm a demon, or that you're a demon now, because you've been pretty much a demon for a while. Or you could do whatever, or you could just tell him that he would not want to answer. Or you could just tell him or you could just tell him that it's called something. I'm not really thinking of a correct name for tied this up, so yeah. And people tell him, and some people refuse to tell them. And Azawa says, well, I need to know. And they tell him, and then he went to Alistair. He said, before you throw, what's your quirk? And he says, demon. Right, and then he said, okay, now I'm going to throw the ball. Right, and with a devilish smile again, he just threw it. And it wasn't really that big of a throw. It was just like a regular throw. But a big boom of air came out of nowhere and made it go hella far. It went pretty much to, let's say it was 2,500 meters away, right? Or 2,000 feet away, I guess, let's say. And as always impressed, and no one really got that high, except for Rocket, because she got Infinity, of course. And yeah, they pretty much did what they needed to. And with the grip, Alistair destroyed it, pretty much. Like, the machine went broken. That's how it went. So yeah, this video might not be that long. I'll probably do it for like 20 minutes-ish, maybe. I don't know for sure, though. I just until I need to do other things. Actually, I need to put on this shirt, and I'll be pretty much good. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. So yeah. Pretty much after that, everyone starts coming back from, the whatever it's called, irritation or whatever, or irritation, whatever it's really called. And then it was pretty much lunch, and it was always said, okay, children, go to lunch, next class will be whatever, right? And they start walking, and some people ask, so your quirk's called demon? Says, well, it's demonic, but whatever you really want to call it, right? And you see him cleaning off his hands and fixing up his suit again, pretty much, right? And I showed you what that suit was already. I know, because I just remembered. So yeah, and I'm going to give him this ability. Not the shadow, but he could create vines pretty much behind him. I just want to say, and yeah. And for heaven's sakes, because Alistair does sing in the actual show. Oh, and I should say this. Some people think of Alistair as a Wendigo. If you don't want to know what a Wendigo is, it's pretty much this. It's like a wolf type thing. I'm pretty sure that's what they actually originated Alistair off of, a Wendigo. but they thought of him in a suit. So yeah. So here, let me just say this. And Alstor could literally summon shadows. He could have fire, and I'm gonna give him that power. And he will go and do will be his demonic form when he goes. And he won't be a killer unless he's in the underworld, but yeah. And when let's say if these symbols start appearing out, he starts boosting his strength, okay? So yeah, that seems pretty reasonable. If you guys want me to add any more abilities to him, please tell me, okay? So yeah, anyways, back to the show, like Alistair would say. Anyways, now, since we're back, and he was just eating, and it's actual nice food. He thought they were gonna have some regular school food. So he's eating, and people have been staring at Izuku. And let's say that Mirko finally sits down, sits beside him, and the first thing she does doesn't say hi. She touches his ears, and you could hear him kind of tapping his foot and saying, "Why are you doing this?" Right? And she's like, "Why?" He says, "Why are you doing this right now in public?" Mostly, she says, "Well, I didn't like how I threw the ball today, so I'm relieving my anger by petting your ears." And he said, "How long are you gonna do this?" Right? And he's eating still. She says, "Just a little bit longer." He's like, "Fine." So yeah. And the boys get jealous about this, and the girls also get jealous because let's say there's some of them that do like Ezekiel, like a girl named Pony in Class 1B. I guess her quirk's like some bull, like she has horns and stuff. I don't know what her quirk really is. They'll explain it more in season 5, I think, because they're doing Heroes versus or whatever. So yeah, and they start heading to their next class. I don't think I said that it was a college, did I? I don't remember if I did. Yeah, I think I did because there's a bar in the house. Yeah, let's just say it's a college. So yeah, if it wasn't, sorry. Yeah, I said it was a college. Yeah, I'm good. So yeah, and pretty much some people, it's a mixture of classes, like I guess you could say, and but there's mainly class 1A and class 1B still. But after that first class, it's a mixture of them. So let's say Pony's in that mixture of class, and they finally get to their next class. And let's say their next class was, let's say making a hero costume or something. No, let's just say, it was like a fighting thing, testing your strength. And they're not doing the heroes versus villains this time. They're just seeing what their quirks could really do. And when it was Mirko, they noticed that she has really strong legs. She's just muscular in self. Her she could jump high and she could move fast like a rabbit. So that's what they pretty much wrote down. And they wrote down what everyone could do and what they need to probably work on. And when Alistair came up, they looked at him and he's really skinny. Right? Because look at his arms and legs and torso. You see how skinny he is? That's what he kind of looks like right now, in a way. No, he's just really skinny. Or just skinny entirely. But he is super strong, pretty much. He does work out time to time, but not really that much, because he knows that the demonic power boosts his strength. And he says, okay. And he grabbed it, he made his microphone appear pretty much, and he showed it that it could turn into a scythe, right? And then he turned it back into his microphone, and then the microphone disappeared. And then they wrote that down. They wrote down that his shadow's been moving more than when he was just standing. His shadow moves on its own. That's a little detail that they noticed. He hasn't really showed anyone about that. Really. Right, and... No, did I make him say that? I don't know. And I'm just gonna make him say it. Call it double T. Okay? I'm taking that from a Pokemon move, I'm pretty sure. So yeah. And yeah. And he shows like that vine move I said, right? He shows Hell Flame. He doesn't want to show his demonic form, because that's when Alista kind of kicks in more, right? And yeah. And they noticed that when he was kind of looking more like a devil, his horns started growing. And yeah. And then, yeah, he has regeneration, speed, strength, and they wrote down a lot for him. There was not really that many weaknesses that you could give him, really. You know? So yeah. And let's say that was the end of school day. Because, yeah, I guess. Or let's say they had all math and stuff like that. Yeah, they ended the school day. They all started walking back to the hotel or to their cars and stuff, right? And Izuku got into his car, and it's just a modern day car. It looks just like it's just a car. Just got into a car, I don't really care. But it kind of looks oldish. And he started driving. And Mirko was in the car with him, and they drove off. And everyone that lived in the hotel, or was staying in the hotel, started going. He parked his car, and they both walked out. And let's say that when he got in, everyone said, "Hello, sir." He said, "Hello. Baggy, would you come to my office, please?" And she said, "Yeah, sure." And they walked into the office, and Mirko was just there. And he said, "Well, like I said this morning," and she said, "Oh, what did you say this morning?" And he says, "Oh, you forgot?" She says, "Yeah. Well, you're getting promoted today." He says, "Oh, that's amazing. When am I getting promoted to, sir?" "That's the thing. You're going to be vice manager. You'll be under Mirko's hand now. But if you have any questions, please ask me, okay?" And then he said, "Well, I'm going to head to my room and get changed." And then he changes into his work clothes pretty much. So yeah. And I'm not gonna end it there. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time, because we leave at 45, so we got kind of like 15 minutes left until we gotta go. So yeah. And they pretty much just work. And Vac is trying to understand what to do. And what she really notices that Mirko's usually just gives him paperwork and everything. And then she checks on everyone, sees if they're doing their job, right? And then she asks, "So, what do you want me to do, Mirko?" And she says, "Well, one thing's for sure. Don't get really near Allister. If he's working, he gets really bothered and loses track, okay?" And she says, "Oh, okay. And if he's having a bad day, don't even get near him, really." Right? She's just saying everything about Allister. And then Vaggie notices that she doesn't know who Allister is. Then she said, "Wait, who's Allister?" And then she said, "Oh, yeah. He lets me call him Allister. Izuku, I should say, for you." And she said, "Oh, Izuku's. So is his real name Allister or Izuku?" And she says, "Well, it's Izuku, but he likes going for the name Allister for some reason." And she says, "Oh, okay." And yeah. I like this one. And let's say that he set it up some party streamers, okay? And stuff. And he called in everyone into the office meeting. Or the office room. Meeting room, whatever you want to call it. And Alistair is looking like this. Into this type of clothes, but yeah. He says, he looks like this. Yeah, happy. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a round of applause to Vaggie. She finally got promoted to vice manager. Can we all give her a round of applause?" Right? And they all start clapping for her. And she says, "Thank you." right? And she thanks everyone that helped her on the way. And he said, well, I made a little snack for us. Enjoy, and yes. And he was getting closer. He started walking towards the door. And let's say that Mirko says, you're not going to join us? He says, no, I still have some paperwork that you gave me, regrettably. And looks at Mirko with are you serious? I still have like 20 more papers to go and sign and stuff. And he says, I still have quite a bit of paperwork. Enjoy. If you could, please save me one or so and bring me a drink, would you? And let's say that he asked the bartender to give me a second. So yeah, and the bartender gives him a cup of whiskey. He takes it to his office and pretty much he locks his door for no one gets in. And Mirko knows that he does this when he's doing paperwork. And then the shadow comes out and actually starts appearing as his form, the real alstor. And alstor in his real form will actually look hella skinny. Like he looks like this pretty much. Right. He is hella skinny. Izuku has like the stomach of this one right here. That's what I meant by skinny. But this alstor for man, dude, like he has these type of legs and like yeah. So he's pretty skinny, you could say. What the hell? Okay. I have no clue what that was about. Anyways, yeah. And Izuku says hello, Alistair. And he says hello, Izuku. So, that girl Vaggie, you know what's funny? Huh? And he says, what's up? While writing down stuff with his pen. He says, in my hotel in the underworld, we have a girl named Vaggie. Maybe they should meet time to time. They look very similar. And they're laughing about it and stuff. And the radio is on. And if you know this song, Your Turn Ladies, that one, that's what they're listening to. I like that song a lot. It's nice. And yeah. And pretty much, he kept on his paperwork and finally got done. And someone was knocking on the door, and Alistair went back to Izuku's shadow. And he pretty much put his paper into his bin. And he unlocked the door and said, come in. Right? And Vaggie came in. She said, hello, sir. And he said, yes, Vaggie. Right? And she said she's just thanking him for the promotion. And then he walked up to her and leaned down. He said, it wasn't I didn't do this. You did it. Right? He said, well, take over for tonight. Go home when you need to. Okay? And she says, oh, okay. I just have one of the rooms here, also, like you. And she says, nice. Right? And then he says, wait, do you even go to college? Like me? And she says, yeah, I do. Well, I'm moving to a college. Yeah, I'm just gonna put her in UA. So, yeah. And he says, that's amazing. Well, have a good rest of your day, and goodbye. And walked away. And Vaggie's having more feelings for. Oh, I just noticed I'm in pictures. Or kind of. And she's having more feelings for him. And yeah. Let's just keep going. On his way, Mirko's still is just downstairs. And he lives on the second floor, let's say. On his way, he accidentally bumped into a few of the UA boys. And they say, move it. And then they notice who they're talking to, and they say, oh, sorry. Right? And he says, oh, it's okay. This is what Izuku looks like for work. I tried to find this earlier, but yeah. Okay. And he says, oh, it's okay. And fixes his straps like this. Pretty much, right? And keeps walking. And he starts undoing his tie pretty much. And the boys are like, God, he's such a nuisance with that girl. Yeah, maybe if we kill him, we get hurt. Right? And they're all deciding what they could do. And yeah. Kind of going on a villain path. And then they forget the idea, right? So yeah, I'm gonna end it there. I did a 30-minute video, not bad for the time I got. And yeah, me and my dog say goodbye and have a good, wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. And Alistair is out. Goodbye. And I'm changing my name right after this, so yeah, Alistair is out. Goodbye.